Hi guys, just me again. Just doing a quick vlog. It's been a very long day. Just had a shower. I'm about to go to bed. Um, I wanted to kind of recap on the week that I've had. I've listened to horrific stories about children being bullied, adults being bullied. All different scenarios, whether it be at school or in relationships. And I suppose the core of it, we all want to be loved for just being us. We want somebody to love us for us. And that's the core of everybody. And when other people are at you or against you, the first thing we look at is what's wrong with me. The one thing in terms of the psychic, the name, whatever label you want to give us, the one thing that I pride myself on is giving people guidance. There's somebody there now. It's giving people guidance to help themselves. I refuse to read for people daily, weekly. In my private practice, I won't look every 6 months. I will look into something, unless it's a different area or perhaps something else comes up. But I generally are quite strict on the guidance that I give. I give you the homework and the tools for you to work on yourself as well. Because there has to be a level of responsibility. But understanding, it's difficult. And people kind of say to us, oh, you psychics, you prey on the vulnerable. And, speak to us like we're not human and we've never been vulnerable and still are, on other levels. We are human. We feel it too. And especially when you're empathic, you just don't feel your own. You feel other people's emotion. You go through that journey with them. And, just a kind of a difficult week in terms of just heartbreaking. Listening to people in relationships where they're asking me what's wrong with them when, it's their partner, for example. It's their issues. They don't like the way they look, so they're constantly on at their other partner about the way they look and how they look stupid in other people. But what they're really saying is, I look stupid. I feel stupid in front of other people. I'm insecure. And then you've got, teenagers that are still finding their feet, still finding themselves, and come up against these gangs of people. And, we were all born with gifts. I always say this, we were born with gifts, whether it's a gift of singing, hitting that high note first thing in the morning, which I certainly can't do, or just going into the kitchen and cooking. Charisma is something that you're born with. I don't think you can learn that. We all have something special. We are all unique. And the one thing I can say, with my son being in school, that we're all different. All kids are different. We all have something special. And it's trying to find that unique quality and how to utilise it. How do we use that? And not care about what other people think. How many of us have found ourselves backed into a corner and behind closed doors, you know, feeling not good enough, feeling rejected. That bloke's gone off with the blonde with money that's moulding herself to be everything that he needs, and she's not even being herself, and yet you're not good enough. You're only good enough, when he needs you. So many different scenarios I can go into where the insecurity gets the better of us, and we sit there and we're, what's wrong with me? And I'm human. I've been there, done it many a times, with family members. Why can't you pick up the phone and call a family member? Everybody else can, is that partner, the normal things in life, if you can call it normal. And I think maybe it's not just me, but I think, I look at these situations, I look at people, and I go out dating, and I think I can just see the bullshit. I think I can just see the bullshit easier, and you can be myself, and I can see the insecurities and hear the words and read in between the lines, and it's never you. It's never you. It's, I suppose this week, the revelation and I suppose the confusion that comes in with me is, how much people throw their own insecurities, their own emotional junk onto everybody else, and then they're the ones sat questioning themselves, what's wrong with me, and there isn't. And I suppose I just wanted to do, I haven't got all the answers, I'm not God. I haven't got all the answers, but I'm certainly praying, trying to find them. I'm a very I like to ask questions and dig at everything. So, I'll keep praying on that one. But, the one thing I can say is you're an individual. And it doesn't make, as long as you're not going around hurting other people, then there's just nothing wrong with that. Everybody has a gift. And whether you hid it because other people laughed at you or, whatever that is, you have something. Everybody has something that you can utilise to, whether it's help other people or to help you grow and to get that fulfillment. I know, if you ever sung in front of people or helped somebody and you've just got that feeling like fulfillment, like this is me, that's your guidance system. That's your own guidance system saying to you, this is your purpose, this is your unique gift. And I don't care how quirky, off the wall it is, you're an individual. And it saddens me to see the amount of teenagers that don't have the guidance on this, I suppose. But as adults, you're still wrapped up in your own insecurities. You can't say to the child, it's okay to be you. My son, for example, carries a pink unicorn around with him, which is very different. And we were worried about him getting bullied. But at the same time, he's caught on to buying these teddies and taking them in and actually giving them away to the girlfriends as well. So the other boys in school, it's actually started a trend. But if I'd gone with what other people thought and stopped him from carrying this unicorn around, just a little example there about, how unique children can be and how you can kind of make it okay for them to be themselves. I'm going to keep up with these videos as well, but I just wanted to share that with you and I suppose leave you with a bit of a thought here. What is your unique gift? My unique gift is being empathic and feeling people's emotions and aches and pains, and never understood it as a kid. The family never understood it. I was just different and they didn't know how. They were psychic, but they used the abilities very differently to me. And, that curse, as I used as a blessing. I used to give that guidance to people. Is yours singing? Is yours cooking? Are you charismatic? Do you help people? So I'm just going to leave that with you, and hopefully we'll catch up in the week. Leave the comments below. Feel free, be nice, people. Leave the comments below, though, if there's anything that you want me to cover, get on my soapbox about. But anyway, have a good week, and enjoy being your fine selves.